Hi there. What's been up? So, well, for me, I don't know. I feel like I'm in this state of. You can imagine when I was going through the dark night. Uh, I felt like my soul is craving for that. For something, it's starving. It's craving to be alive. It's craving to survive, and it was a year ago. And oh my god, I can't believe it's been a year to that. It was a year ago, and now I feel like my soul or the inner consciousness is much more. It's well fed. It's in a healthier state, and it's so healthy that it's not accepting any manipulation. It's not accepting any sort of things that is unhealthy for me, for my inner peace. And yeah, it's very much in tune, and it's very much in peace. It's very much in of course there are times when it gets dark, but it's a gradual process. Things around me, the position or the situations that I have been put in might look quite scary, but it's still manageable. Like, I know, okay, fine, it's there's something good happening, or not good happening, but it's just for my good. Let's take it that way. So today I want to be talking about a new way of living. It's been 1 year and my lifestyle has changed, right? My lifestyle, my relationships, my situations, they have constantly been in this position of one after the another. Something this, and then there's something else. After one there's two, after two there's three, after three there's four, and then it just doesn't end. And I was kind of hoping that things end. The difficult situations that I am being put in, but it just doesn't. It just starts getting tougher and tougher. Rather, I would say it starts getting much more delicate and subtle or sensitive. I'm talking about the situations. So, well, that's what's been up. I want to make a video on my new way of living that I have been observing myself going from like this year, since the realization, self-realization of that we are spiritual beings hit me. Knowing that you are a spiritual being is a different thing, and when you are realizing it, that's a different thing, and that is where your spiritual awakening starts, basically. That is how I am taking it. And then it's been almost a year since the kundalini activation hit my life. So, and since then life has just taken a main, it's just taken a different ride, the main ride of life, and it's cut me off from all the other train tracks. So that is what. Well, I just keep getting off the topic, but yeah. So what I'm trying to say is, it's been 1 year, and I want to share my experience of how my lifestyle before, or how my living, my old living, is different from this living, and so much unconventional from something that I expected my life to be. Life is happening, even if it looks outside that it's not happening to me, but life is just happening to me. Well, coming to what has changed really, what I have added to my menu is my spiritual health. I was concerned about my mental health, or I don't know if I was even concerned about. I was sort of aware of my mental health, or my psychological health, or physical health, or whatever. But I was not as much in tune with my spiritual health. I was in tune with my spiritual health, but I was not all aware of all the spiritual phenomena that was happening to me. So now I have added spiritual health to my health systems. So spiritual health is could be different. The definition of spiritual health could be different for everybody. It's a personal definition that everyone has their personal definitions and their personal meaning to what their spiritual health is. Now, some would say, like the internet says, that it is about purposeful living. For me, it is about living a truthful, peaceful, and an authentic life. And how am I cultivating? What are the elements that I consider in my spiritual health? I would say I am following the 7 chakra system. And just like how we have organs for physical body and other systems for our mental health and our psychological health, I'm taking spiritual health. I'm taking 7 chakra system. So I run according to that. I run according to, okay, so where is my energy right now? It's in my solar plexus. Okay, my energy is working in my root chakra, so I have root chakra crisis. Now I have the sacral plexus chakra crisis, along with which my life circumstances is also in synchronicity. My spiritual health affects my emotional health, and that affects my physical health. And it's also in synchronicity to my life situation, because that is also very much in tune with my chakras. So that is how I am looking at my spiritual health. And spiritual health is the root cause. Okay, it's the root of all the health systems. So I directly, whenever I face some physical symptom, so I directly, if I'm coughing, I know it's coming from the throat. So I'll just work on to the root of it, and then I'll get it clear. I'm also taking medical help. By now I can say that I'm in a position to take medical help also whenever there is need for the healing of my physical health. If there's an infection, or if I need medical help, I am taking medical help. But I'm also working towards the root of it. Sometimes the energy is in either of the chakra systems, it's stuck, and I have to understand, okay, fine, now I have to clear it, I have to balance this specific chakra, and with the help of my life situation, I try to work my energy through it. So that's how I have integrated my spiritual health to my new way of living. Next, I could say it is what has this new way of living done for me. It's so much unconventional and so much different from the life that I was living before. It's added so much awareness on my plate, and as they say that with awareness comes responsibility. So there is responsibility towards the self and responsibility of the self. There is responsibility that's come with the awareness, and each experience is adding some or the other awareness. So even if I'm working very less, or if I'm experiencing the external world very less or very high, however it is, even the subtlest experience is adding awareness on my plate. And the benefit here is because of my magnitude of the kind of awareness that I am consuming, or the kind of there's high level awareness now. So I am getting aware even of my subtlest thought, the tiniest of tiniest thought, or tiniest of tiniest feelings. So that's added to my plate. Every experience, I mean, even if it's very little experience, or even if you call it some intuitional message, so it's just adding a lot to my awareness, which wasn't there as before. In my old living of life, my awareness was not as deep as it is now. So that's on my plate. With that also comes the kind of resistances, or the kind of rigid experiences, or the kind of ugliness, or the kind of, I could say, obstacles that and the kind of obstacles that I am crossing by. And apart from the inner obstacles, inner resistance, which is very much very much mirroring my external external situations, obstacle, I could say. So one of the major obstacles that I have been facing is people's opinions, or what are people thinking, or what are people doing around me. People who are already having a good life, and I mean, of course, they are people around me, people who bother to me, or in my reality, in my world. That was bothering me, or that has been one of the major things, because I'm very much sure of the things that I want to do, because I'm in tune with my intuitions, and even if I'm not sure, I'm using my inner resources to keep exploring and to keep digging. But then, what will people say? And there are times where people are getting so solution oriented, and of course they're going to get worried about me, they're going to be concerned about me. Out of concern, people are trying to help me out of it, not knowing that I don't really need help, not knowing that I'm not in a helpless position. It's just that they need to be patient as much as I need to be patient with myself. So that was one of the major obstacles that I could say I'm facing. Why? That's also because the kind of path I have taken, the kind of path that I have been set into, is so much different from the paths that people have as a collective. In the reality that I am living in right now, I don't think a lot of people have been set on a direct spiritual path. Everyone is a spiritual being, and everyone somewhere or the other is on their spiritual path. But right now I am very much aware that I am very much on the spiritual path, and I'm looking at things, I'm looking at my life situations, and I'm looking at myself from a very spiritual perspective. So that's changed, that's made it too different and too unconventional, I could say, from my own previous life or own previous way of living. So that is one of the obstacles that I could say that I have been facing. Then there is my new way of living. Why is it unconventional, and why and how has it become different from my old way of living? I would say it is because of my lifestyle. It's because there is slowness in living. There is so much awareness that's coming from each experiences that I have to swallow that awareness, or I have to, because of the sensitivity that's increased, I can't do anything until and unless I don't process the whole thing, until and unless I don't digest the whole awareness. Because with each awareness, you also have to, let's just say, with each thread of awareness, there's layers of emotions attached to it. So I have to process all of them, and until and unless it's not digested, my other life situation doesn't come to me. And I am taking it very slow, because I have integrated that slowness in my living. I have integrated the slow living system to my lifestyle, because, as I said before, one thing is coming after another, and then the cycle just keeps going on, and I want to savor each moment of it, and I don't want to exhaust myself or take it hard on myself, and that is the reason why I'm just taking it slow, which reminds me of the quote that nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. So that is what's going on with me. It's slow. I'm not able to operate myself from the place of ego. I'm not able to operate myself from the place of destructive emotion, or let's say the reason why I use the word destructive emotions that cause destruction within myself and in my external environments. So I'm just not able to do it, and I'm not able to, even if I want to do it, even if I want to do certain things out of what people are saying, or out of what I need to do here, out of revenge. I'm not able to do it. My body is not permitting me to do it. So what I'm learning here is a lot of patience with myself, is a lot of faith, is a lot of faith in life. Because sometimes I have to be so patient with myself because of my own integration of slow living, and that is what I could say that would be an additional system that I have added. And with that, other things are being taken care of. There are signs of abundance around me. I just have to recognize them. So I am completely on my way for doing so. Yeah, so I'm completely on my way for doing so. I'm recognizing the signs of abundance around me, breathing it in, and letting go of other desires, I would say, short-term desires, or what do you call, materialistic desires, which you actually don't even need or don't even want. It's just out of some influence. But I'm also striving to work towards it, and I am gradually stepping into the place of getting back to the material world. I say this in all of the videos that I've recorded until now, because every step out feels like stepping into a different world only, and then I get back to my shell, and then I have to go back to the material world. But I'm not in a place where I have totally occupied the material world, integrated the material world. It's all one step at a time. I take one step in the material world, and then I take 3-4 steps back into myself, into my cocoon, and then I take 2 more steps, and then I take multiplied by 2, I take it back. That is the reason why I always say that that I am stepping into the world, and then I get back, and then I come back again. Things are being taken care of. Whatever is needed, I'm getting, I think, and I'm very much I have become very much sharp in recognizing the things that I'm getting and the things that I'm doing, and why the things I'm doing are required for me to be done. And another most important element that I have added in my new way of living is listening to my body. It's intuitive eating. That is so important. For a year almost, or for so many months since the pandemic hit, or since my activation hit, or even before the activation, when my body was preparing itself, I had started to become a vegan. It was very automatic, very natural, without even me realizing that I am turning a vegan. I was eliminating non-vegetarian and dairy products from my life, and I realized, oh my god, after months of becoming vegan, oh my god, I'm vegan. And then I realized that I'm a vegan, and that is how my lifestyle is going to be. But that was not entirely possible, because I also used honey, and I used other products. Sometimes I had to use as in how my body demanded, or as in how the situations demanded. And that is where I realized sticking to a diet is not really helping me, it's not really helping my body, and it's not going in flow with what my body is demanding. So that is how I came to a realization that I cannot do this to myself. I cannot be a vegan, I cannot be a plant-based vegetarian, or I cannot be entirely a vegetarian, or I can't call myself a non-vegetarian person. Forming an identity around what is my food, what is the kind of food I'm consuming, that became rigid in my mind. And also kind of blur for me to actually not have the rigidity or the identity. And that is how I came to a realization that it is really nice if I just follow my body, if I just follow my body intelligence and consume whatever I feel like taking. Because I have read it, and this has also happened with me, that after being vegan for so long, I started craving to have chicken, or I also started craving to have some dairy product, or coffee, or milk in my coffee. That is where I realized that if I consume that with a sort of guilt or with a sort of anxiety, it's affecting my mental health, and that's not really what I'm going to allow this time. So just taking what my body needs, trusting my body, having faith in my body, and that is what I have cultivated, intuitive eating and having faith in my body intelligence, because body will demand what it needs. There is going to be a craving, and you just have to keep feeding it. So I don't see if whatever the dish is, I just go with my body instincts. Okay, I have gotten a little lucky here. Whatever is appealing to my taste buds is the thing that my body has accepted, and is the thing that I'm going to consume it. So that is what I have integrated, intuitive eating. Well, I can say that the most important element that I have learned and that I have managed to cultivate throughout my the exploring of my new way of living is self-care. The kind of self-care that I have been cultivating in my life has been so immense that I really am in a different self-care place right now. So that's really helped me. Self-care has helped me, and I have learned the importance of self-care. So I think that is the heart, that has been the heart of my journey. Self-care, that's just so good. That's saved my life, and that's the main thing in my whole new way of living. So that is what I would say. You can also consider that as my message from the video, that self-care is the most important thing in the initial time of your awakening or of your kundalini activation. This I established this YouTube channel with the idea that I'm going to be sharing my journey through kundalini activation. So sticking to that, self-care is the most important thing when you are in the initial time when your kundalini gets activated, because kundalini is so demanding. I have named kundalini as my girlfriend. It's taken time. Okay, fine, I'll try to. So I've taken kundalini as my girlfriend. I have to obey to whatever my kundalini, and in my mind I interpret kundalini as inner life force. So I obey to whatever and oblige to whatever my kundalini, my girlfriend, tells to me. And I take universe or my life or the external forces. I take it as my boyfriend. It's a playful boyfriend. That whatever I demand, I get. Whatever I want to manifest, it manifests for me. So it's my boyfriend. Playful boyfriend. You don't get it when you want it, but you will get it at the right time, and you will definitely get the things, you will definitely get the situations, life situation, as in how your soul is in need, or whenever your soul wants to, is ready for that sort of an upgrade or that sort of a atmosphere. So that is it for today's video. Thanks a lot for crossing by on my way. Today's video is a bit long. So yeah, that is all. See you soon. Bye bye. Take care. Have fun.